Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue as we continue with our year in review and a little holiday show. As we remember back in 1998 when the show began, it was a chance for you, our viewers, to take a look at some of the great golf facilities, not only in the Philadelphia area, but literally around the world. We continue to do that in 2015. So we thought we'd end this year's Inside Golf shows by taking a look back at some of the courses we visited. Of course, Teed Off has always been a popular addition to Inside Golf, and this week we'll check in with our Teed Off panel as they run down some of the characters that they've met in their long history with the game of golf. All that coming up next. It's our year-end show right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf as we continue to look back at some of the shows we did in 2015. We focused on two golf courses operated by Spirit Golf, one in Warminster and the other in Yardley. Mike Atara is the head of Spirit Golf, and he ran down for us and showed us what Five Ponds in Warminster has to offer. Give us a little perspective, Mike, about Five Ponds. I know it opened in the late 80s, Warminster Township. This is their golf course, and it is a variety of vistas and scenery and golf holes. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect if they've never been here to Five Ponds.
Yeah, so you know what makes a great golf course really starts with the course itself and the routing. The location is wonderful, and then great facilities and amenities. So, you know, our job is to make our customers really comfortable and enjoy all that we have to offer here. So, you know, looking at the golf course, I think when you get a chance to get around here, it really offers the better player a great opportunity to play a championship golf course, and at the same time, with the many tees that we have here, makes it very playable. Name sometimes gets in the way with the ponds. I think maybe sometimes scares people, but
just a hazard.
Just a hazard,
just
and
a
really
little hazard, beautiful hazard.
And
you got five of them.
Yeah, and the way it's laid out, they don't come into play in such a way that they're difficult to carry or anything like that. So a lot of fun.
You talked about player abilities. You have 5 sets of tees on every hole, correct?
Yeah, and then this year we actually added a blue-white combination just to make that other option for some of the longer holes, so for some of those guys that still like to play and be competitive, to have a little shorter on some of those long holes makes it a lot of fun.
Tell us about some of the other activities. I know you have a golf academy here at Five Ponds. You got a great range, first of all.
The facilities are awesome. I mean, you literally walk out the pro shop and you're on the teaching tee and on a grass tee driving range here, which is really special. And there are mats too, if people like to hit off mats. We try to break it between the two so they get the option. Putting green, you literally walk off the practice tee, you're on the putting green, so you got that. And all the programming, we're really trying to get new players an opportunity to step out on the golf course. We use Get Golf Ready classes and junior programming and PGA Junior.
I also saw on your bulletin board nine and dine situation for maybe a couple to come over here on a Sunday night, play 9 holes and have dinner and win a prize or two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so lots of different options for all the different players to have a chance to enjoy the golf course. So having 9 and dine's really been, just another way to to open up the doors to different folks.
Now, you've been a professional for 25 years. Congratulations,
thank
by
you.
the way.
Yeah, the old
What,
century mark.
did you get a chance to play much yourself? And if
little
you
bit.
do you have a favorite hole out here? Maybe your own personal signature hole at 5 Ponds?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of good ones out here. 5's probably one of my favorites.
Number
Really,
5.
yeah, nice par 5. Very playable, uphill, kind of meanders uphill and to the right a little bit. As you'll see out here, a lot of the greens are elevated and up in the air, and this one is one of those. So makes that third shot into the green a little challenging to get the right distance.
Well, you said third shot. I was going to say 25 years of pro. You've probably been on there too a couple
Oh,
times.
forget, yeah,
haven't you?
yeah.
Huh?
25 years ago.
Still got it?
25 years ago.
No,
right?
no equal opportunities for you.
Not on that one. That one's pretty long.
Okay. All right. Give us one final little testimony to 5 Ponds and what Spirit Golf has here for people who are not familiar with the golf course and maybe want to try it out.
Yeah, I think if you've not been here, you really want to give it a shot. It's a great golf facility, very value oriented. If you look at the price point for 5 Ponds, it's perfect for what we're offering, and I think value is the real key here. And then again, having all the clubhouse amenities, the driving range, the putting range, everything just perfectly located, so you can just literally come in and enjoy your day.
The other facility operated by Spirit Golf in the area that we visited in 2015 is Makefield Highlands. It's in Yardley, right off I-95 in Bucks County. Bob Doria is the head professional. Up there, they like to say they're redefining public golf. And Bob showed us exactly what that means and what's new at Makefield Highlands.
For the 2015 and 2016 season, we've basically put in place a tent for us to handle weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and other events here at Makefield Highlands. It'll seat 150 people. We also have a patio here at Makefield Highlands in order to do cocktail hours as well as other parties and other events.
And all this overlooks your beautiful golf course.
Fantastic view, as I said, best view in Bucks County right here.
Absolutely, and when you have the events here, the golfers, when they come up for their 19th hole, still have their patio, which in the future may be extended a little bit.
Yeah, we're looking at expanding the deck, and while that may not happen in 2016, that is part of the future plans here at Makefield Highlands, always trying to improve the product.
You know, talking about improving the product, I know improving the number of golfers has gone up substantially. You were telling me earlier some 250 rounds a day?
Yeah, Makefield Highlands averages about 250 rounds of golf per day. This recent Sunday we did 292. So this is a very busy golf course, and we have players coming everywhere from northeastern Philadelphia all the way down from New York City.
And the other thing is it's convenient, not just for New Yorkers maybe, but for people, and I'm not talking about Bucks County residents. As you mentioned, Northeast Philadelphia is literally maybe 20, 25 minutes away, right up 95. From 95, you can be here in a drive and a wedge, right?
You got it. We're right off exit 51 off of I-95, the last exit in Pennsylvania, right before the Scudder Falls Bridge, and we're only 1 mile off that exit. Very convenient.
So let's talk about this par 3 that you have here, number 3. Huge green, a lot of contours, a lot of options for pin placements.
Yeah, we have our greens are extremely large, very slopey, and there's a lot of pin placements on them. Right now our greens are around approximately 10 on the stimp meter. We had a little rain earlier this morning, so they're probably a little slower than they usually are. They were running up to 13 for the U.S. Open qualifier, so it made for some very interesting putting. The day after the U.S. Open event, our superintendent kept the course in the same conditions. We had the greens ruled one more time, so the public had an opportunity to experience what it's like to play on a U.S. Open setup.
Is this one of your favorite holes? I mean, in terms of the 18 you have here, I'm sure you have several, but where would number 3 rank?
3 is a great little par 3. It's the shortest par 3 on the golf course. It's a great opportunity to make a birdie, but we have some bunker complexes where if you don't pick the right golf club, it can be a double bogey as well.
Is there a difference between front 9 and back 9 here at Makefield Highlands?
Front 9 and back 9 are similar in nature. The back 9's got a couple more hills on it. There's a couple of holes that are a little bit more picturesque on the back 9. Also a little bit more on the forced carries. We have a couple of areas on the back 9 where you have some wetlands areas.
Okay. How about from 3, we go to a par 5-4, but there's a whole nother section of the front 9 to our right. What holes are we looking at back here?
Well, the third hole here, the fourth hole is actually a short par 4.
Oh, okay.
The hole you're thinking about, Harry, is our 642-yard par 5-7.
That's the one. How can I forget that?
But the fourth hole is a 330-yard drivable par 4, especially in the middle of summer when it's warm. The fifth hole is also a short par 4. Risk reward. 2 is a possibility. We also have seen you can make 6 or 7 very easily. And then it's followed up by a very strong par 4-6, the dogleg left with bunkers around the corner of the dogleg. Great golf hole. Par there is a great number. And then we finish it right going back towards the house, the 642-yard par 5-7.
Unbelievable. Tell us about, and this is a good example of it, you have several tee box options depending on the player's choice and level of play.
Yeah, Makefield Highlands has got 5 sets of tees. The course plays anywhere from 5,300 yards from the most forward tee to over 7,000 yards from the back tee. We also have some combinations where you can play our blue and black tees and get to 6,800. You can play our blue and white tees to get to 63, or you can play our white and gold tees and be around 5,800. So we have the variety that all these tees are sloped and rated, that depending on how much golf course you want to have, you have that opportunity here.
And it's always, I know, the PGA of America has been stressing, play it forward, keep it within your own talents and abilities.
Correct. I'll tell you one thing, I'm getting older in age. Playing off the back tees makes for a long day. I like teeing up forward as much as possible. Birdies are a great thing.
And coming up, more to come here on our year-end show for Inside Golf. 2015 was the year that Phoenixville Country Club celebrated its centennial, and Inside Golf was there.
Most of our early history from.
Golf course superintendents
are the unsung heroes of our great game.
Thanks to the game's efforts,
we now have turf that needs less water
and is more sustainable
and offers natural wildlife habitats on our courses.
If you love golf like I do,
like what I do,
thank a golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
Do thank your golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
A message from the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
And welcome back to Inside Golf and happy holidays. This week we are taking a look back at some of the courses we visited in 2015. One of them was celebrating its 100th anniversary, the 9-hole Phoenixville Country Club. It was designed by Hugh Wilson and obviously has a very rich history. Interestingly enough, we're in the Centennial Room here at Phoenixville with 2 members of the Centennial Committee. We have John Sigorski and John Heiss. And gentlemen, first of all, John, give us a little bit of history about the club and how it got started back in 1915.
Sure, I'd be happy to, Harry. The club was founded in 1950 in June. Actually, it started as a 6-hole club several miles from here, and they leased the land from a farmer who decided he wanted to start farming again, and they basically had the club pulled out from under them, and they found this piece of property on Valley Forge Mountain, bought the land from a farmer, and we've been here since 1915.
And John, you know a little bit about the architecture of the golf course and some pretty big names that were involved, one in particular that helped lay out the original design.
Correct. That'd be Hugh Wilson is often attributed to having laid out the course here and consulting with some of the other perhaps designers and builders of the course. And regardless of who developed the course, it's a great layout on a interesting tract of land and made great use of a small property, and it's a challenging course and definitely has the bones of some Hugh Wilson holes that you might see at some of the other courses in our area. So there is good reason to believe that he had some involvement.
Has it been tweaked a little bit over the years? Have there been changes, subtle changes, whatever?
I believe so, yes. In 1915, our 4th hole did not exist as it is today. The 1st hole was where our practice range is now. And so there was a change with the 1st and 4th, obviously, I think probably to accommodate parking and motor vehicles. So our 4th hole is different from the original layout.
John, going back to 1915, as it was back in those days with most clubs, just a handful of men, I'm sure, got together and said, hey, let's develop our own club. How many, to your knowledge, actually started Phoenixville back then?
Harry, the best we can tell from the records is there were about 80 men and women who formed the country club. They also had tennis members at the time, so it was a golf and tennis club. And it was very vibrant in the early years of the 19th century.
Where we're sitting right now, I understand, wasn't always an enclosed room. Needless to say, they didn't even fathom the idea they would be celebrating 100 years here at Phoenixville.
No, that's correct. Where we're sitting today actually was a front porch with an awning. And several years ago, we closed it in and made our centennial room from here.
Yeah, and it has such a cozy feel to it, the whole building. You know, we were walking through, and you have a delightful little members' dining room. You have a banquet room that overlooks the golf course. But there's an easy flow to this place.
We like to liken ourselves to Cheers. When you come in, everyone knows your name. We're a very friendly organization.
All right, since both of you gentlemen are involved in the Centennial Committee and the celebration this year, we have some artifacts here. This is a pretty thick volume. I'm not sure. I guess it goes back to early minutes of board meetings or something like that?
That is correct. This is where we've collected most of our early history from the startup through the 1950s, and much of what happened in the early days is contained in these board minutes.
And we also, in front of John, have an old-style putter. I don't think, John, that belonged in your bag.
No, no.
This club goes back almost 100 years as well, huh?
That would be correct.
And as you look on the walls here of the Centennial Room, chances are you may recognize, or outsiders, a few famous people, including one of the best hitters of all time in Major League Baseball.
We were lucky enough to have Stan Musial play here in his heyday of players, as well as some famous Phillies, Bob Skinner for one, and many other celebrities. As a matter of fact, President Harding was the only sitting president to play golf in the Philadelphia area. He played here in 1921.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do we know what brought him to Philadelphia back in 1921?
Senator Knox was a U.S. senator, was a member, and lived down the street, and he invited President Harding to come play, and he liked it so much, the first 9, he canceled his afternoon schedule and played around the second time.
You don't have the scorecard available, do you?
I don't have a scorecard, but he did shoot 58 because there was an article in the Philadelphia Inquirer from
58 for 18 holes?
No, for 9.
I was going to say, he should have given up his day job, huh? Gentlemen, thank you, and good job in putting together your Centennial Committee, and it looks like the members are going to have a heck of a year here at Phoenixville Country Club.
Thanks for coming out, Harry. Appreciate it.
Another historic course that Inside Golf visited in 2015 was Lulu Country Club. The course was designed more than 100 years ago by Donald Ross. We were there in October, taking a look at how new ownership was making some changes, both to the golf course and, of course, the facilities. Unfortunately, within days after our visit to Lulu, there was a devastating fire. It destroyed the clubhouse. But head professional John Rusk told us a few days after the fire how he wanted to thank the golf community in Philadelphia for lending support, and also told us about how Lulu was forging ahead for the future. We talked, John, a little bit in the opening about what happened here, as people I'm sure are well aware of on that Sunday morning back in September, just a couple weeks after Inside Golf visited you and heard your plans to get Lulu up and going again, and now you have to kind of reload a little bit. But golfers, it continues here, right?
The golf continues. First of all, I want to thank all the fire people, fire marshal, fire companies, the policemen and women. I also want to thank the golfers listening in Philadelphia for the support that they gave us and all the member clubs. They reached out to us. They came to the property that day. General managers, presidents of clubs, golf professionals, they all came out and tried to offer their support to see what they could help us out with.
Well, that's the golf community here in Philadelphia, and when somebody else is down there, they help pick them up.
Yes, they are, yep.
And also, you were talking about how you were getting phone calls for people who wanted to come and join Lulu after the devastating fire.
We've had a lot of new members over the last couple weeks here, so that's exciting. We had 2 of the best players in Philadelphia join, Chris Salt and Glenn Smoriale, so we're excited about that. We're also excited about the other people that have joined, so it's going to be a great year.
We'll talk about the golf course and how, of course, it was unscathed, untouched by the fire. The clubhouse, of course, sustaining major damage, and already, well, I guess the question is, how long did it take for you guys all of a sudden to say, okay, it's onward now?
It took a couple hours. You know, we made some phone calls and we started calling around, see what we need to do to get ready for next year. The members have all been very supportive, so we want to thank them. They've offered their services. All the members do certain things, so we're excited about the future, and we have good plans going forward.
I was going to say it's probably impossible right now to set a timeline when the new clubhouse will be here, but that's the plan, right?
That is. It'll be a state-of-the-art clubhouse. We don't have a timeline yet, but we're working with contractors. We're working with major consultant companies in the country, so we're excited.
Well, of course, we know the golf course is in good hands with Matt Stout, but you know, how many days was actually the golf course down before guys were out here playing.
We kept the golf course closed for a week. The golf course is in great shape. We could have opened the next day, but fire company was busy doing other things. So we let it rest for a week. We've reseeded the golf course, and the golf course is beautiful right now. So the product's here, and we're ready to go.
And Inside Golf will be back in the spring of 2016 to see how Lulu Country Club continues to move forward. And speaking of moving forward, we'll be back in a moment with our Teed Off panel. A look at some golf characters, people that may be familiar to you and some that aren't.
Playing a lot of golf.
We're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in with endless ways to win. Join us for the area's hottest happy hour with double the action at half the price. Only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. It's time for our Teed Off segment, and once again, we're back here at the Valley Forge Casino Resort. Great spot to be anytime. Of course, with the holidays coming up, and they have the new place, the Vault, the 3 Bs they call it. They have a bar, they have bands, and they have bites. Visit them right here at Valley Forge Casino Resort. All right, our panel of experts kicking around some topics today. We have all the way to my far right, Bob Shepard, no stranger to Teed Off. He's been here. He's teed off more times than anybody, I think. Joe Logan, myphillygolf.com.
Good to be here.
And former PGA professional president, Jack Conley, great ambassador, especially for all the members at North Hills Country Club, of which I am one. Good to see you again, Pro.
Good to see you, Harry.
You know, guys, recently we had a show here, did it with Pete Trenum, who is the historian for the Philadelphia section of the PGA, about a character by the name of George Lowe Jr. He wasn't a pro even, Jack. He was an amateur, pretty good one too, right? And he is well known for being a putting guru. He was a hustler, and he just was America's guest. I mean, never paid for anything, this guy. He always won it, or tried to at least, right?
Yeah.
You know a little bit about George Lowe's history, right?
Well, George came to work in Huntington Valley for his father as assistant. And then he did eventually turn pro because he was the head professional at Plymouth. 1936.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, and was part of the guru for putting. He apparently had taught Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino in his older stage. But in '45, he broke Byron Nelson's record, his winning streak. He was the low pro. However, he didn't win the tournament because an amateur by the name of Fred Haas actually won the tournament. So he got the money for the low pro.
That's great.
Nelson finished third that year.
Yeah, how about it? He would have been number 12. Joe, in your long history of covering golf, any characters? Maybe not a George Lowe Jr. He's at the top of the list. He's at at the pinnacle.
I'm going to have to go with the great Harvey Ward, who was an amateur champion, was a U.S. amateur champion, was an NCAA champion at North Carolina in the 40s, who his time in golf was really before the money was there, but he made a very, very nice living playing a lot of golf. He played with CEOs who were willing to lose. He was married about 5 times, and he did not marry poor women.
Didn't make him a bad person, right?
No. He was a character, and he was a charmer. Head oozed charisma.
Didn't he make a little bit of a name for himself in the book, The Match?
Yes.
It was 2 amateurs,
Ken Venturi.
Harvey Ward and Ken Venturi, who were pretty good friends, against Hogan and Byron Nelson.
Right.
All right, Shep, from your years as a pro and just being around the game forever, give me a character or two.
Well, we got Kyla Foon. Very few people ever heard of Kyla Foon. He was made up to be an Indian from an Indian tribe, and he wasn't. He was just had a different type of name, but he was a hustler of all sorts. Then you had Titanic Thompson. He was another gambler, and he used to just do after every tournament, he would hang around and get the gallery and make special shots, like throwing a peanut over the clubhouse, and he'd have the peanut already rigged with buckshot. And of course, he could flip it over there, and he'd bet the whole crowd. And of course, he kept winning. And Kyla Foon, when he putted, he thought his putter had spirits in it, and he missed a putt one day, and he walked over to the side of the green to a pond, and he knelt down and he started putting the putter in, yelling, "Die, you bastard, die!" So,
hey, whatever it takes.
Yeah, the story goes he went out to the parking lot, and tied a rope around it and drug it all the way to the main open, which was the next week.
You know, there was another guy, Al Besslink.
Yeah.
Al Besslink was a pro, I think, at Philmont, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Among
was
others,
there, yeah.
maybe down the shore, Atlantic City.
He's been a lot of places.
And he was on tour.
Yeah.
And he looked like a pro wrestler with the. He
back
had to
hair.
bleach his hair.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Give me a good Bessie story.
Well, Bessie, I remember him, at least the story goes, I didn't know Bessie, but he was supposed to play in the White Marsh IVB.
Back in the 60s or so?
In the 60s, and the IRS wouldn't let him play because he owed him money. And he said, just stick around, I'll make sure I give you the money when I win. He also took a job out in Vegas that they were offering him, for argument's sake, $40,000, and he said, no, I'll take 30 in cash and 10 at the casino.
I don't know if they make guys like that anymore, do they?
They don't.
Oh, was he married 5 times and each woman was richer than the one before?
Characters from the game of golf. Our thanks to our panel. Inside Golf is back with more in just a moment. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list. Here to talk about Valley Forge Casino Resort's newest hotspot for live local entertainment is Jennifer Gailey, Chief Marketing Officer.
The Vault is a brand new bar and entertainment venue that we just opened at Valley Forge Casino Resort. We're really focusing all on entertainment in this space. We like to have something for everybody. So Fridays you can see great DJs, and Saturdays we're bringing in local bands. So while you're here, you can also enjoy our list of great craft cocktails. We do them, individual or also in large format crafts, which are great to share with the group. And then we have a great selection of craft beers on tap as well. So we have something for everyone, but it's all about great local entertainment that you can really experience while you're here at the Vault.
Seek out this hidden gem for the best live and local entertainment every Friday and Saturday night, only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Well, that's going to do it for our final show for 2015 here on Inside Golf. Be with us throughout the upcoming new year to take a look at golf courses, including a facility. It's in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, where technology and fitness are helping golfers improve their game. I'm Harry Donahue. Hope you had a great 2015 and even a better 2016. Happy New Year, everybody. And remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. We'll see you in the new year right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine. It's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.